say living life is free, I'll have to deny, 'cause every day I pay the price.
So I've been obsessed with art lately. No, it's true. Look, I don't know what's been going on with me, and I don't know why have felt the need to just go on and do art, but genuinely, well, the first thing I need to say is it's been helping me. And the other thing from there is that it's also been just surprising. Like, I don't want to say like it just blows my mind, because I don't feel like that covers it, but I will cover what that does mean though right now. But welcome before that to the Complicated But Kind of Simple podcast. I'm here again with another video, and this one's gonna be obviously over art, man, because I don't know, every single time I go back on this podcast and do another video, I feel like I'm saying the same thing again. I'm like, oh, I'm back and I've been gone, but I don't know, maybe it'll be more consistent this time. It's more about me changing up my art, and that's really what it's been. I've been experiencing life, and in that I've actually been experiencing a lot of art, and I didn't know how much I liked art. I didn't realize how much I really enjoyed just not just looking at art, but just appreciating art in every facet of life. You know what I mean? It's not just the basic way of thinking about it, because art comes in a lot of forms, anywhere from like movies, painting, music, dancing, even storytelling. I would even argue that you could say like being a good conversationalist is a form of art, form of expression, you know what I mean? Excuse me. Anyways, art is probably the thing that's been driving me the most, because realistically, life's been difficult lately, but it's also been really fun. And what I've been noticing is that art is in almost every facet of life, and for good reason. It's because art is supposed to, be that thing that you can express yourself in. And I didn't really understand it, because for me, I don't know, I'm a dude, like, if I got a lot of energy or a lot of things to do, generally I just either go talk with friends or I'll go out and I'll work out, because that's what you do as a guy. You go work out, get that energy down, cool your head down. And honestly, I would still recommend, I still do that, and I don't think I would ever want to stop doing that, working out, or you're just even going for a walk. Some of the just best of the best that I enjoy. I love doing that. Anyways, but art has been another outlet where it's like, okay, I get it. This is some weird... creative is such a weird word too, because it's this area of uncertainty, unknown, where you think and you feel to produce something that hopefully you enjoy. You know what I mean? Something that you can be proud of. But the interesting part is it almost has no beginning and no end. For one person, a stick man could be their art, and another one, they literally gotta make the Mona Lisa. Like they gotta grind that joint out, and I'm not on the Mona Lisa level. But what I am saying is that I recognize now how personally in my own life how art can affect me and help me, because art is just that thing that almost discounted, and I don't understand why. I feel that in order to appreciate art a lot, and honestly to appreciate the accomplishments of what other people do, you have to go out and do some things. You have to go out and make stuff. And personally, I'm not an artist. I'm really not. I really enjoy looking at other people's art. I want to promote it, which is what I'm doing on this channel now too. But I also want to give credit, because I'm not an artist, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I spent 3 days making something or 10 hours straight. No, I didn't. I don't have those skills. Now I do like to do photography, and that's actually where I got the picture for my logo. Actually, the logo, see, and this is where I come in. So the same way I made my logo is the same way that I kind of want to make my videos and my art and stuff. You know, I feel like I'm much more an observer, and then I like to collectively put things back together. So this logo that I made for my channel, I did make it. So there was a bunch of presets, and out of all those presets, I just went around and I picked the right glasses that I enjoyed, and I picked the right like outline, whatever cloud I want. I mean, I basically, every single small little component I made. I just didn't make the actual pieces. Like, I didn't actually draw the cloud out. I didn't actually draw out the small circle or the big circle. Now, doesn't mean I don't modify work. So like, just because I made my logo a certain way, I also later go in and I go edit it, right? So when I go edit it, I make it 3D. That way for you guys, it seems more appealing. Now, it can't always be 3D because, you know, pixel count and stuff, and sometimes it just doesn't look good. But the point is, that's where I go in. I kind of come in, I look at something, I'm like, let me tweak it a little bit, and then boom, and then I tweak it to my liking, I move on to the next one. Now, if you were to tell me like, hey man, that's not actually your art, you didn't draw that, you know, even though you went on the computer, made it 3D, it's still not yours. And even though you literally like built, like you put together every part in a way that you enjoyed, you still didn't draw those glasses, you still didn't draw that cloud. And I would say, you know what, you're right. If to you that isn't art, that is fine, that's fair. But here's where I'm gonna start to come back, because this is where art, and you know, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, right? I've been doing a lot of thinking, and it's starting to change my mind over what art is. Because in the beginning I was like, well, it's not my work, and it's really just, I admit that, but I appreciate it so much though, because I can understand like 1% of your grind of like, wow, sitting there and just working but yet still enjoying life, and then creatively pushing yourself. Like, that's awesome. But what I'm realizing now, especially visually online, art is becoming automated. So it's kind of freaky how when I look at these videos, because YouTube videos are a form of art, when you look at these shorts, a lot of them that have the speech on the bottom, the captions, wow, I just said speech on the bottom, the captions, yeah, what normal people say, excuse me, a lot of those captions, those are automated. And you can tell too, because when you're scrolling through YouTube shorts, the caption will be incorrect. So obviously they put the text speech through a system, and then it outputs, and they're even getting to the point where certain syllables and words and actual points where a person like enunciates and really brings out a point on a word or a phrase will be a different color. So I mean, the people are designing better and better software, computer, and systems to make art, and that's going to be part of it. Also, the hue that you put on, I'm going to put everyone on right now. I don't know why I would do this, but put a hue over your thumbnails. If you don't put a hue over any image that you post online, you're just shooting yourself down if you want to make it look better and if you want views. And that's just the way I see it. So put a hue over all your works, you know. I'm putting everyone on. I'm serious. Put hues on. You need to get contrast. But I'm going to come back a little bit and let me just regroup. So yes, please do put hues on your actual works that you post online, any images. But and I didn't even get into the video topic yet. The main topic of today, it's fine, I wanted it to be a long video for y'all, is gonna be AI. So AI is very interesting, you know what I mean? Because people are going online, and there's a few different software applications that you can mess around with. There's one where you can go and you just make a basic image, and then the AI tries to recognize what you're trying to create and then put out another image, which makes me really suspicious, because all those Google "are you a bot" things were basically just training bots to know if this is a sidewalk and that isn't a sidewalk. But you know, that's kind of the same idea. I feel like those are the same technologies in order, because like bots have a very troubling and difficult time trying to discern the difference between two things. They just really don't know. But what this also allows them to do is where if you don't know, there's these things online where you put in, just a certain phrase like, oh, like man, horse, cow, farm, and Apache helicopter, and then it pops out with this crazy custom image that you want. And it started to make me really think about what is actually art and how much does it matter where it comes from, because AI is able to output art at such a high rate. The same way that your eyes take in art from outside, like you see a tree, it's enjoyable, right? That's being replicated from a computer now, and it's quite incredible because computers can output any pixels at any point, so it can show you the Mona Lisa or it can show you your mom. So I guess the picture of your mom is art. Everyone has a beautiful mother, but that's art. And the interesting part is, I wonder how much of the future people are going to stop trying to make art on their own and go and try to get AI to come and do art for them, because it's so much quicker. The software that we're making is becoming better and better, and in all reality, it just makes sense. It's so much easier, at least it seems to me, that it would be eventually with time, to just make a technology to bring you the most pleasing thing ever to your eyes, which we're basically doing with YouTube and social media anyways. And how can the AI make that enjoyable for us, And that's what all these platforms are for too, which is interesting, because the same way you interact with the system interacts with you. And you can see that really well if you go on YouTube Shorts and you really start to focus in on how the algorithm works, like you really put your mind to it, you start to find how basic it interacts and how yet it still builds off of those basic inputs and outputs that you give it and makes something bigger. Same thing with art, right? So the art that we're gonna have to a point, like we're gonna be able to get probably key phrases to, maybe you want a hue here and not a hue there, and maybe you want 100 images of 100 different values and you want to pick from there. You're gonna be able to do that soon, and then you might even be able to have another robot say, okay, out of these, I bet you 5 of them are gonna do absolutely well. The software will already know which of those 5 are going to do well, which is very interesting, and where I go back to the point of, I wonder how much it matters where art truly comes from, because I wonder if people would be angry just like me. Some people get, some people don't believe, okay, well, you just put the sum of some parts together and you made something new, yes, but it's still not yours. I'll be like, okay, AI will do the same thing. It goes online, these programs find images, they get key parts and they put them together, and it really starts to blur the line between when is it yours and when is it theirs. Again, I'll go back to my logo, because I literally, every component I had to place together, I think it is mine, because no one else went out there and had the idea of, oh, I'm gonna put a cloud. Okay, that's my idea, fair enough. And then no one also took the time to go out and do that after that idea, put it together. And it seems simple, but it took me, let's say 6 to 8 hours. I still remember that day, and I was just finding, just like an artist, I was looking, and I couldn't believe I was doing it too. It was a crazy creative process, but I was just finding the perfect just parts that could make up this whole that I genuinely enjoy, that I genuinely was satisfied with, and was yes, this will be my logo. And then after that, once I do that, I was like, okay, well, I want something behind my logo, because I don't just want it to be white. So, and then I had to go and find an image. Now, the image I took is mine, but if it wasn't, is it no longer mine? It's very interesting, and it also gets into the point of, if I use your art, should I be able to make a profit off of it if I change it? How much do I need to really change it, And how much And it matters because if we're using these bots and this bot makes something beautiful out of, let's say it has 10 images and it uses it to make one, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool, they're all different enough to the point where that art is now different. Okay, what if you only have 2 images but it makes up something incredible? Can you now call it yours? Is it now your art? I mean, and this is the part that's very interesting to me, because people care about credibility, but and this is why whatever I post on my channel that is someone else's, I really do try to promote the original person. And if I get it wrong, I'm so sorry, because you deserve credit, and I believe that. Same way, I believe I deserve credit for the things I've done too, and I don't think anybody should take away from anyone else. And then yet I still go back to, by not taking away from anyone else, if I go and I make something out of, if I get a bunch of components and make a new sum out of it, like, at what point is that now mine? I don't know. I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but yeah, that's been a big part of my life lately, art. You know, I've been doing a lot of photography, looking at the landscapes, and I find that even in just taking simple pictures, eventually with time you get better at it. You get better when you look around the room, and you're like starting to realize, oh, okay, like this could be an image, or that, or what if I put this there? And it's super interesting because art has this progression of, like, you start out basic and then you just think, but what the part that gets to me is that you feel. And I think this is why a lot of artists are on that, like, astral plane and, like, you know, hippies and stuff, because it's like, I get it now. I get it. It's like that creative instinct. It's that creative motivation and hunger where you can put out your energy. So if you feel bad that day, put out, like, a sad boy art. If you feel happy that day, like, then look at something that makes you on top of the world. You know what I mean? It's very interesting. I don't know. I also think that art is something that I've never been more excited to develop. With my new shorts, I'm really tiptoeing the line between my art and someone else's, but I'm also getting better when I post the shorts. Also, please watch my shorts. Appreciate a little plug there. I really enjoy making them. Yeah, just really tiptoeing that line between what's mine and what's someone else's, but I credit people, so I hope that counts. And over time I've gotten better where, like, I'm changing and adding things and trying to just sculpt something and just refine it down into something else that I think I enjoy more. And it's a journey, and that's why art is amazing, because that journey involves, like, a lot of time, a lot of emotions, but more than, it's like appreciation. Like, you get to appreciate life with art, you know. And I think human life is an art. I mean, you look at this, it really is, you know. I mean, we're here to enjoy it, hopefully. I mean, people got to go through a lot of stuff, you know, but that's where that energy can go to. That energy can go to art. I don't know, just some thoughts. As for the channel, look, I'm going to be posting shorts more. I have to. I like it. If you have any songs that you want me to put in shorts, please, 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 just send them, put a comment, send them through. I'll try to make it as short if I can. And as for the podcasting, yes, okay, I'm not going to make any promises, because every time I do, I end up breaking them. But I will say that I will try to be posting more. And I do this because I want to post good content. And from now on, screw the 10-minute podcast. I'm not doing that anymore. I want to do like 15, 20, maybe even 25, 30 minutes. If y'all are wanting to do that, just let me know in the comments. So you'll let me know if leaving a like or dislike that too. But podcasts aren't bad, and this is still my bread and butter. I'm always going to do this, but at the end of the day, I found that in pursuing podcasts, I was going and finding other outlets creatively for me to enjoy. And honestly, when I do something, and the videos that I made were a big example, because no one really understood how much work and time I put a whole summer into learning basic fundamentals of Adobe. It took me way too long. You know, you could say lack of motivation, you could say just whatever you want to call it. It took me a while, and it burnt me out, because every single time I go to Adobe, I was so frustrated. I was so done. I mean, I literally did like 5-10 times, just over and over, just having to make a new project and scrapping ideas and then coming back and then just over, and then I would go to work and then I would come back and I would do the same thing over and over. So it's what people don't see. People don't see that other side of you, that like you genuinely care about this, but it also exhausts you. So that's why I kind of cooled on it. But at the same time, I genuinely believe that I just wanted to find some other outlet to, you know, make art and put it out. And because of that, I think I can now find more of a rhythm posting shorts and posting the podcast. That way both of y'all are happy, and hopefully I can find some other art to get into, you know, something else that I can do. I know I've done photography, but I don't know if I want to post them yet. One, because they're personal, not like there's anything weird on it, but it's just like, you know, when you take an image and it's like got your memory in it, you know, it's almost like a part of you, which is fine. It should be, but also I don't know if it's good enough, but that's also part of the point too. It's not like I got a professional camera, it's just iPhone pictures, but at the same time, yeah, I really do like taking pictures a lot too. So, you know, that's another asset of art. Actually, you know what, boom, I challenge y'all to that too. Why don't y'all go out, do some art too? It could be dancing, storytelling, it could be anything, podcasting. I mean, this is art. It's all art. So I would recommend go out and find some way to go, you know, put whatever energy you have, good, bad, whatever you got, just throw it at the wall and see what happens. You know what I mean? Oh, like, what's the worst that you can happen? You make a bad stick figure. Like, come on, man. Like, go do something. Anyways, that is gonna be the podcast. Man, I can't even speak anymore. Excuse me. That is going to be the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Glad to have all y'all support. And yeah, thanks for listening and watching.